Here's one more thing I wanted to show you about that dry vit that I used. I wanted to make sure it blended in, and it is blended in with it drying. And I'll double check that in the morning after it's 100% dry. And I had some other paint in there that was for this rail, and it's semi-gloss, and also for this flashing here. And that flashing is it's kind of like a satin finish. This here. And I painted that, and I painted this, and it was almost the same color as the stucco. And I went ahead and cut in the stairs and everything. This one, and I used that same paint color, and I wasn't sure if it was going to match. And see, it's a little bit too dark, isn't it? You can see the remnants. Now look on this wall here. I cut in using that same paint along here. You can see all the different areas where I cut in using that darker paint. But on this side, it blended in pretty close. So what does that tell me? That tells me when they added these columns out here and they added these stairs, they didn't get the paint color exactly right, did they? This side here is just slightly a little bit darker, not a whole lot darker, but a little bit. And you see the stucco over here, it's a little bit lighter, isn't it? Or I went in to try to cut in, and I'm like thinking, okay, what do I do? Do I take the same paint out of that same container and paint this little wall here? I might just have to do that, because see, and I don't know if this wall bleached out because of the sun or what, but see this column here? This column is a different color than this over here, isn't it? Because what I was going to say is, see, when I put that patch material on, it's the color of these columns pretty much. And if I wanted to, if I didn't have the right color paint, I could take that, drive it to the store, even though it has sand in it, and I could ask the paint store if they could match that up into a gallon of just regular paint, and then I could use that. And then I could paint this wall over here and make it blend in a little bit better. Okay, so different things you can do even if you don't have the paint color exact. Just go to the paint store and have them match it to the paint and that dry vit that you already have for this stucco. Okay, there's a tip for you. Now in my case, what to do? It looks like it's a little bit lighter for some reason. See, this stucco in here looks just a hair darker, doesn't it? That looks pretty close to the paint color that I've got on the wall that I put in down there, and that was the same color as that trim. And when I look at that trim up against this, I look at this trim up against the stucco, it's pretty darn close to being the same. So what I'm going to do, I got 3/4 of a gallon left of this trim color. I can use that, and I'm going to go ahead and paint this one wall that color. And I don't know what to do with this column. There's no way I'm going to paint this whole column, I don't think. I mean, that's one thing. I could paint this face all the way up. I'd have to get an extension ladder or something, or I can make a line, paint this here, make a line here, and go across, and then from here down have it all be the same color. mean, I'll just have to think about what to do with that. There's got to be a place where you've got to stop. You know, you can't go too far. I could, because see, I don't have that paint. And you know what? You know what I'm thinking? That other paint, like the Drive It that was in that other container, it looked just a little bit lighter. Now, I might take some of that and mix some of that up and put on here, and it might be the same color as this here. And if so, I can take that to the paint store and have them mix me up a gallon, and then I can paint this wall and this wall here, or I can still decide. I think I like the darker color. Maybe I'll just make this section right here dark, and then leave the column a little bit lighter color. See, it blended in pretty close over here, slightly off. So what I'll do is I'll take that same color and I'll just go up to this edge, and I'll paint this little bit, and then you won't even ever see that. See? You just have to kind of think about the different things you're gonna do, and you'll get her. Just think about it and ask, hey, what would Joe do? You don't have to, you could stop doing that after a while. Look at this column here. See all these little hairline cracks? You know, I could put caulking on all these right in here, and then I could repaint this column from here over to there. I could do that just on this little small column, because it's fine over on this side. So different things you can do to make your home look better, you know? Don't let it look all hodgepodge. Don't cut this in and think, no one can see it, it's fine, it'll be fine, I'm not going to do anything with that. No, take pride in what you're doing. And see, when I cut in this, I did the best I could, but I got a little bit on in here, right there. I'm gonna have to cut in some of these steps. Let's see. See, here's a little bit more. Here's some over here. And I tried to cut in the line as best I could on the stucco, but I got just a little on the steps. So I have to take the brown again and go through there and look at it and see where I've got to cut in a little bit more. You know, there's a little bit back in there, and I'll get it all taken care of. And before I call this job complete, I'll get all these stones cleaned. I'll clean the side here and get all this stuff taken care of. Okay, don't just leave a mess. See, remember when I was mixing up in here and I had my cardboard out here? I've got to rinse this down right there, over there, along in here. Don't just leave stuff like that. Okay, that's part of your project. That's your signature. You're not done until the cleanup is taken care of. Okay. All right, time for me to call it a day. Here we got an air return, and this is where you put your filter for your air conditioner if you have them in the ceiling. And this crazy one here, every time the heater went off, you could hear it go clunk, and then when you turn when the heater went back on, you would hear it go clunk. And it was because the filter would fall down. Now the air conditioner, the heater just went off, and I don't hear it anymore. You know why? Because I went ahead and replaced it, and it was dirty anyways. It was really super dirty. And I looked at the measurement. This one says 20 by 25 by 1. And so I got a new one, same size, and I thought, okay, it's just barely loose. And so when when the air is not sucking, when the heater's not on or the air conditioner's not on, once you turn it on, it wants to suck the air in the room up. And then you hear that go ka-clunk. And then when you turn it off, when the heater goes off or the air conditioner goes off, you hear this ka-clunk. In the middle of the night, you think, oh, what is that noise? Is somebody coming in? I'd have to tell Mommy, nope, it's just the filter dropping and hitting the grill. And so I got up there, and sure enough, the existing opening is about 3/4 of an inch or 1/2 an inch bigger, wider and longer. And so what do you suppose I got? I got the shipping tape. I got Mommy's shipping tape out. Mommy's tape gun, do not remove. She had this at her work. And now we got it at home. And I pushed it up there. I don't even know, you can't even find a filter the exact size as what that opening is. It's really weird. You can't find one 20.5 by 25.5. It just doesn't happen. So I don't know what the deal was. And so anyways, when I put the new one up there, I took some of her shipping tape and I just pushed it up in there, and then I taped it, and it kind of does like an L shaped deal. And I taped it up there. I pushed it all the way up. Or you can turn your air conditioner on, you can turn your heater on if it's loose, and that'll suck it up, and then you can tape it into place with just little pieces of tape, you know, four pieces, one on each end, and I just pushed it up in there, and away it went. And now it's fixed. So every time I have to replace this one, I'm going to have to do that. Now the other one in the other room, it's a different size. It's 20 by 30, I think it is, or 25 by 30 something, and it fits up there. I gotta hold my mouth just right to push it and fit it in there, and so it's pushed up there tight. I did put a couple pieces of tape just on the off chance that it gets loose later on down the road. But that's a trick you can do if your filters fall back down. Okay, I don't like that noise in the middle of the night. When you hear that, it's just kind of unsettling. So there's a quick way to fix it. Well, there's your tip for the day.